I don't know about you, but that looked like money.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today's video is going to be pretty quick. I know I've been kind of out of pocket for the last, I don't know, few days. It's been a good busy around here, so haven't had much time to make much content. But I did pick up a pretty significant card for my collection. I mentioned it in my live stream, I guess a couple weeks ago now, that this is a card I've been looking for a while. And while it's not really my biggest card, it is. Once I bought it and got it in the mail, I've been kind of really content with what I've got right now. I've made a couple other pickups along the way, but this one really, I don't know, it kind of completed this little collection I had going on. And we're going to get into that in a minute. Now, the card I picked up, it's considered a variation. I guess it is, PSA and Beckett both listed as a variation. There's arguments against that it's just, it's a printing flaw, it's a printing operation thing, but it's still a card I wanted, and it's still pretty desired out there. It's a key rookie card, and it's one of those cards that doesn't pop up a whole lot. Well, I shouldn't say that. It pops up a bit, but the variation of it doesn't, if that makes sense. Anyway, without wasting any more of your time, I'm just going to turn the card cam on and get into this. So as you know by now, I am a big Sammy Baugh guy. I think he's one of the most important vintage players out there that you can collect. This is what I currently have, plus the new one that I just picked up. But these are all, to me, still relatively affordable. Almost, I don't want to say the word, they're criminally undervalued, but I feel like there's a lot of room for these cards to grow. On the left, you see the 48 Leaf Sammy Baugh, which is widely considered his rookie card. In the middle, you see the 38 Dixie Lids that predates it by a decade, and some people consider this his rookie card or rookie item. And then on the right is his 48 Bowman Sammy Baugh. Again, some people consider it a rookie card. I think they're all great, and I think all three of these cards are cards that any collector would want in their collection. They're all gorgeous. The Leaf and the Bowman have issues with centering, so it does take some time to find ones that are centered. It took me quite a while to find the Bowman in a condition that I liked centering wise. But anyway, you see those three here, and here's the one that I just picked up. I'm going to slide this into frame. And that's the 48 Leaf Sammy Baugh red jersey. Side by side, you can definitely tell that there's a difference. The one on the left is an SGC graded copy. SGC does not denote the difference between the two, which I find kind of odd, I guess, because Beckett and PSA both do. I know that PSA did not always delineate between the two, and we're going to get into that in a couple minutes. But yeah, this is the 48 Leaf Sammy Baugh red jersey, graded a 1.5. This is a really nice PSA 1.5. And just have a closer look at it here. Gorgeous color on this. There are some light surface creases in this card, which is why it gets a 1.5 grade, but honestly, you kind of have to hold it at a certain angle to even see them. And these are the cards that I like to buy that are, I think they're fairly graded based on the grading company criteria, but they look better than the grade. Again, it deserves the grade, but this just looks better than the grade. And honestly, with the red jerseys, it's hard to be too picky about it. We're going to look at the pop data in a couple minutes, but not only is this one got great color and great eye appeal, but the centering is really good too. So I feel like I really lucked out on it. I did, it wasn't cheap. It was around the 300 and change mark, but it's one of those cards that I felt I was missing, if that makes sense. Even though I have the maroon jersey already, I really wanted the other variation. Whether or not it's really a variation, I don't care. I just really wanted it, and I think it looks great. These 4 Sammy Baugh cards are just great. I'm so happy to have them. I mentioned Pop Report data earlier, and we're going to take a look at that right now. And as you can see here, let me pull this window up. Looking at PSA, you can see that there's 3 columns for the Baugh. The first column is before they started to recognize the variation on their slabs. And then you have the maroon, and then you have the red. And you can see in this data that the maroon jersey, if you add up the numbers, it's about, let's see, what's that, 336, 361 to 127, 135. 3 to 1. The maroon jersey is about a 3 to 1 ratio. We don't know, of this number of, what's this, 240, 263, how many of these are red and how many are maroon. There's really no way to tell here. But it does look like there is about a 3 to 1 difference between maroon and red, with red being the scarcer of the two. When we go to Beckett, that discrepancy is even higher, although there's less of them graded. They've only graded 51 of these, and it's a 5 to 1 ratio, maroon to red. It's crazy. Only 51 of these have been graded by Beckett. And this goes back to my point that I've been hammering on for a long time, that there are not many 48 Leaf Sammy Baughs out there. This is, under 700 here, I think. Quick math. Yeah, right around 700 copies graded by PSA. 51 by Beckett. We go to SGC, they don't delineate at all between the two, the maroon and the red. They've only graded 252. And for kicks, I went and looked at 48 Leaf on CGC, and they've only graded 3. It looks like they might, maybe these are all maroon, I don't know, but they do differentiate some of these cards in the Pop Report. So here's a maroon jersey here, this guy. So maybe, and yeah, there's a white background Bednarik, which is, it's a few mortgage payments to get that one. But it looks like they do, and it looks like SGC does to some extent as well, but they don't do it for the Sammy Baugh, which is, it's kind of crazy because when you go back, it's plain as day that there's a difference, right? I mean, look at that, the red and the maroon couldn't be more different. A lot of the talk about whether these are true variations or not comes down to, there's a lot of evidence pointing to the printing process for 48 Leaf football being, let's just say, not very good. There are other colorful words we could use, but it's been discussed and believed that this wasn't a very important set to Leaf at the time, and they had printing apprentices working on this set, which is why you see so many variations across the board. If you do some research on 48 Leaf football, you'll see that there are a lot of color variations. There's a lot of misprints. There's a lot of, white text when it should be black, and there's cards that are missing their faces. I mean, I'm not even kidding about that. I'll show it right now. But there are those that say these aren't really variations, the Baugh in particular, because it's more of a printing error. And I can kind of see that argument, honestly. I would probably consider this more of a printing error than a true variation. But looking at this, I would expect the blue and the yellow to be different between the two, and they're not, but the red is. I'm not a printing expert, though, so I could be wrong on that. But the fact that Beckett and PSA, and remember, Beckett was a pretty big grader at one time, did differentiate the two, I'm going to consider it a variation. The flip on the holder says it is. There is demand for it. From what I've seen, people do pay up for the red jersey, and people want it. People want both. I wanted both. It's the same card, different jersey color. And I honestly think the red looks better for what it's worth. But anyway, yeah, there you have it. That's what I've, picked up. I haven't picked up much recently, as I said, but this one really filled a void in my Sammy Baugh collection. I love the card. It's beautiful in hand. And having two really well-centered Leaf Sammy Baugh cards. Let me get my face out of here. They look amazing. Let me put them next to each other. Yeah, they look great. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think these are variations? Do you think that's just a printing defect? Do you think it's both? I tend to believe that they can be mutually exclusive, but they can also not be. That's kind of a cop-out answer, but two of the biggest graders do consider it a variation. I guess at the end of the day, if you only have one of them, you're winning anyway. There aren't many of them to go around, so we're looking at a little over 1,000 maybe Leaf Sammy Baughs out there. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Again, kind of a short video, short and to the point, but I wanted to share the card with you, and I'm probably going to do a video on 48 Leaf and the variation topic with them. It's a gorgeous set to look at anyway, and talking about something that's kind of trivial about it would be kind of fun, I think. So I'm going to put some research together on that, and probably do a video at some point just looking at what the variations are. I mean, some players have 4 or 5 different ones. I know the Steve Van Buren you need kind of like a roadmap or a decoder ring to figure out what's what. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, and we will talk soon. See ya.